Hi guys, welcome to Trip Around the Multiverse with your hosts CY Chung and
The Dragon of the North, the Fist of the North Star, Kyle Charles.
okay, I didn't intro myself because I don't I forgot. I guess I didn't realize we were going to intro ourselves. I would like to say rewind and let me re-intro.
Right, go on then.
No, as in all right. Hi guys, welcome to Trip Around the Multiverse with the man with the seven scars, CY Chung and
The Red Dragon, or should I say, the right dragon of the left dragon of the double dragon, Kyle Charles.
all right, we're keeping the entire thing,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. I'm not kind of
Entire
the thing
intro.
before.
Okay. Right. So as we've been doing these episodes called Talking It Up, where we
Yeah,
talk about terrible movies and try to say the good things about it until we obviously can't,
yeah,
and just decide to verbally wreck them. Um, we are going to be speaking in this episode about Double Dragon,
yes.
1994 film, Fist of North Star, the 1995 film, DOA Dead or Alive, 2006 film, and Dragon Ball Evolution, the 2009 film. So, Carl, which one do you want to? What would you want to do this in?
Um, I'll say because I watched it first. Double Dragon,
All
one
right,
of the best
okay,
films.
okay.
Yeah.
Hit me with the good stuff, and then and
Okay. Um, if you haven't played the game, it doesn't matter watching this film. Like,
I think that's what we say. Forget the source material.
yeah,
Just criticize the film itself, because otherwise, yeah, there's going to be a lot more bad things you're going to say and a lot less good things.
yeah. To be fair, I'm not gonna lie. I reckon it having no connection to the source material makes this film a better film.
Okay, okay.
Like, you have no like preconception, like, oh, this is meant to be following two brothers who are on a revenge quest to get their girlfriend.
Yeah, yeah,
And I do say their girlfriend, not one of them, both of them, the same
yeah.
girl.
Because you have to fight each other at the end, right?
Yeah. Um,
Okay.
so, yeah. So,
So,
this is a great coming of age brother film where two quote unquote brothers, because
well, here's the thing, right? Mark Dacascos and Scott Wolf both play both the brothers, but you can see they're entirely different races.
yeah,
So are we saying
completely.
they're adopted brothers, or who knows exactly what, right? But they didn't point it out. To be fair to them,
No.
and then they make fast of it. So you
Yeah.
just let it slide. That's
Yeah.
a
So
good
it's kind
point
of
I give
cool.
to that film, because it's like it is what no one points out in the film, and
There's no
we just
need to.
carry on.
Yeah, there's like no need to.
Ignore it.
So
Yeah.
yeah, coming of age, two brothers who are living in the apocalyptic age of 2007, where
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yep.
LA is now New Angeles, and gangs sort of run rampant after 8 o'clock at night. So
Yeah. Very. It's it makes its own rules, I guess.
yeah, it makes its own rules.
Because they got curfews, I guess, until the 8 o'clock when they're allowed out. I don't know. Who knows
Yeah,
exactly?
it's what it is.
Yeah,
And it's a fun kid film. There's no too serious convoluted plot.
yeah.
Um, the fight scenes are quite kid friendly.
Well, okay. So, um, there are comments I have to make about the fight scenes as you bring it up, right? They knew who was capable and who was not capable.
Yeah,
Mark Dacascos was clearly capable of stuff, so he had to fight the Chinese stuntman, which was Ao Long and Jeff Amada. He had the most extended fight scenes, I want to say, but basically sequences where he had to do more actual movements,
yeah,
whereas the other guys close up, swing a couple of fists, cut edit here so they don't do any long sequences. Like, okay, smart. Get the
yeah,
guy who can do stuff to do stuff. The people that can't do stuff, edit around them.
yeah.
Smart move.
And it just fits films of that early 90s like style. It was
Uh, yeah. Yeah. So
Mm.
yeah, as you say, I mean, this and Street Fighter 1994, Van Damme Street Fighter, I think are along the same lines of a train wreck that is actually kind of enjoyable when you like think this is just stupid, but it knows it's stupid.
Yeah.
It's not trying to be anything other than stupid. Can be fun. Not great by any means.
It's not great
but
at all.
the same time, it's like we know what we are.
Yeah.
Just you know, we're just gonna make a film that makes people laugh of how wacky it is.
Yeah.
And I'm surprised actually Paul Dini wrote it. Had a hand in writing it. And I'm like, the dude who writes Batman the Animated Series wrote this.
You can tell he just, paycheck.
Yeah. I will say this though, Robert Patrick, he's enjoying what he's doing.
Yeah.
Super having so much fun being he's over the top, but not super over the top. He's like cool.
Yeah.
He's level-headed over the top.
Like, compared to Ray Park in the Fatal Fury film, King of Fighters film, who's just terrible.
Yeah.
Like, Robert Patrick, he knows the film's silly, so he's going along with it, but it's not too out there.
That's what it is. He proper he looks at his material and he's like, all right, I'm just going to play it exactly as it deserved to be played. Yeah. And he just like, I did have to say that when Robert Patrick possessed Mark Dacascos' body, Mark Dacascos did pretty good acting as Robert Patrick acting as him.
Yeah.
I think with the other way around where Robert Patrick gets possessed by Mark Dacascos and then he acts like Matt Dacascos. I was like, okay, yeah, these guys, man, they know they're in a joke of a film. Yeah. They know exactly what they're doing.
See, yeah. And, the effects were okay for a film of that time.
Wouldn't say the effects were the greatest, but at the same time. Yeah.
But for a film on its budget, it did all right.
I have to say as well, there's some some of the heavy bits where Robert Patrick he fights the lady, who's the Billy and Jimmy's guardian.
Yeah.
And she fly kicks him through a paper wall, right?
Yeah.
So he goes flying, like diving through it, and then just a split second later, he just dives through another paper wall, just to like ham it up, and go
Yeah, I was like,
what?
Okay.
What? And then it does a little long shot where it tracks back a little bit. You just see the two paper walls busted behind Robert Patrick. Like, you jump through one wall just to jump back through another wall. Why?
Yeah, like, what did you gain?
But that's in the spirit of the Hammy character that he plays. So I can't deny that that's not what he would do. It's perfectly in line with what he do.
Everything sort of happened and it made sense for it happening.
Yeah.
Yeah, rather than with Mortal Kombat Annihilation where nothing made any sense.
Now, here's the funny thing. The lady that plays the Guardian, Julia Nixon.
Yep.
Right? She has small white streaks in her head to make her look a little bit older than she was, I guess, so she can legitimately be the guardian of these two quote-unquote teenage brothers, but I think they were probably in their Scott Wolf and Mark Dacascos were in their 20s.
Yeah, it must have been.
But sometimes, I think in some shots, you don't really see the small little white streaks. And like, okay, well, I don't know how well they keep a track of it, but at least they put the idea in it. Yeah, she's their guardian.
Yeah.
And they make her look slightly older. So they put effort in that. I don't know how much minimal effort, but at least it's there.
They're trying, yeah.
Yeah.
But the thing is, as well with that, her face, she doesn't look young. She doesn't look old enough either. So it's like, okay, I could buy you being their like friend.
Yeah.
But not their adopted mother / guardian.
Yeah.
Because you're only about 2 years older than them.
Well, yeah, she looked like she's 2 years older than them. Yeah. She's probably about actually 10 years older than them in real life at that point. But
what else?
Yeah, it doesn't look the age that she's supposed to be.
Yeah.
I have to say there were some silly jokes in it though, that like right at the beginning where there's the girl that had the broken down car and then the boys are like, oh yeah, let's help her.
Yeah.
And then it turns out to be like she's in the bonnet of the car with her legs bent over and everything like that. So you only just kind of see her butt. And so when the boys, Scott Wolf's like, oh yeah, there's a hot girl. And then when they stop to rescue her, she steps out, she takes off a wig, and it's a dude.
Yeah.
And I was like, what? That's in the first 10 minutes. It sets the tone for the film, though.
Yeah, you're like,
it's just the ability of it.
To be
you
fair,
know what you're in right there.
The tone was set from the start. You know when they're having that weird indoor karate tournament?
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden there's an earthquake and that small person starts doing the wrench to do stabilizers or something like that.
Yeah.
Okay, this is where this film's going. Cool. All right.
Yeah.
I checked my objections out the door. I'd just go along for the ride, I guess.
I have to say though, the entire thing was pretty kind of fun-ish in a way. I never thought, oh, okay, switch this off is terrible. It's just like it is exactly what it's meant to be in the spirit of we're campy, we're hammy, we're fun, we're cheesy. Yeah, we're just gonna go for it.
Like
it's not story-wise. Forget what.
Yeah,
what
there's no story. Like I feel this is another film as well. In the 90s, I could see why it probably got panned and all that for it. But years removed, it's like it's like a thrill. I use the word thrill usually, right? Yeah. Where like you just watch it and like, oh, okay, that's cool.
Well, I have some like as much as so. First of all, let me just point out, and we didn't say Robert Patrick, stupid haircut.
Oh yeah,
proper douchebag, and right then, what type of character he is. He's like a blonde, like he's dyed blonde spiked upwards.
Yeah.
And it's like, and the way he dresses is like, yeah. We know what he is. We know exactly what he's meant to be. So it's good there. And then they do the bits where, so he and his henchmen, the two Chinese stunt guys, and the lady who's playing Lash.
Yeah.
They swagger up to the Jimmy and Billy's adopted mother / guardian. Yeah. Any friends, they all got sunglasses. They walk into her basement or wherever they are with sunglasses on, right? Indoor with sunglasses. And then when Robert Patrick starts speaking and threatening her, he takes off his sunglasses and everyone else takes it off at the same time. They're like perfectly in sync. I was like, what?
You know what? I think as well, that wasn't written in the script. It happened like randomly and they caught on tape like, let's keep that.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Well, it's great though.
Yeah.
It's just like it's just like exactly what the tone of the film is.
Yeah.
What we can say about that when it is just, I say pure entertainment, but probably inadvertent of the way that okay, so it's not an action movie.
No.
It is, and I don't want to say it's inadvertent entertainment because it's so bad it's good. Yeah. But they know what they're doing it for the most part of this film.
Yeah.
They know who they're trying to entertain.
Yeah, of course. And from because I've watched a couple of documentaries about the making of this film. A lot of the story they had to make up because this was a point where the people who made the game, I think it's Technos, were just throwing the rights out to anyone. And it's like, say if you just came up to them right now and go, I've got 10 grand and I want to use Double Dragon.
Yeah.
They're like, sure, no questions asked, and just let you do what you want with it. So basically, that's what happened with this. That's why there's no connections to the game whatsoever, because they bought the rights and like, so where's the source material? And like, we're not giving you that. You do what you want.
Yeah, I have to say as well how so they needed that necklace, the two parts of the necklace.
Yeah, the dragon medallion
to give the power of the double dragon, and they did kind of right where they saved the blue and red gi till the end.
Yeah.
In a sense, it's like, okay, they built up to the moment where these guys had it.
Yeah.
So that makes sense. Because we might have expected to wear it off the offset where the tournament, but at least they kind of, okay, we're going to hold, we know what we're doing to this degree.
Yeah. Here's the payoff. Yeah.
Yeah, of their classic costumes. So, yeah. That's
it's a good film. To be fair, I haven't got really much bad to say about it, if I'm honest.
No. Well, here's the thing: it's not got great. It's not great at anything, right?
No.
Other than being a train wreck.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. And it's an amazing one at that. What do you think of that big bulky bodysuit that dude was wearing? The main bad guy.
Bobo a Bobo.
Yeah.
That was slightly off-putting, if I'm not gonna lie, because like it just made no sense because he's meant to be like some big hulking dude, which you get from the look.
Yeah.
But then he walks into stuff and you see the padding like
Yeah. And
go
then,
in, and you're like, oh, okay.
And then Alyssa Milano's torturing him by feeding him pulped spinach, and
Yeah.
he starts fighting and stuff like that. And so like, yeah, okay, it fits. It's like these silly jokes fit the tone of the movie. I can't deny that.
Yeah, you're like, oh, okay, this is cool. Because he's from the game. So's Lash.
Yeah,
and I think that's so bad.
I have to say with Lash, the way they cut like I was saying, the people that when they couldn't fight, do certain fight scenes, they edit around it. So Alyssa Milano and Lash, at least they try to do certain bits.
Yeah.
And then they're just like, okay, we'll just do the standards. Nothing too
over the top where it's obvious.
But she looks like she can handle herself with a whip, is all I'm saying.
Yeah.
Whether she can or not, like, they edited kind of to a degree where she's still like, swinging it around and stuff like that. So you're like, okay, I can buy kind of what she's doing.
Yeah, rather than obvious, always look from shot from behind where it's a stunt double.
Oh yeah, we'll get to that later when we get to DOA, Dead or Alive. But yeah.
Oh, frail. Yeah. We'll get to that.
This. Okay, I would say personally, it's very watchable.
Yeah.
Once when someone says, "All right, don't expect a good film, right? But it's expect a bad entertaining one."
Yeah,
that's how I would recommend it.
Yeah.
Oh, did you notice? It looked like to me as well. The car that the Lee brothers had, looked like it was a repurposed 801.
Yeah, that's what I got from that as well. I was like, huh, recycled. Yeah.
Okay, so that's what we think. We're just saying it's not too bad.
No,
it's just not good. But it's silly.
It's there. It exists.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Which one? What do you want to give props to next? What film do you want to give props to?
Let me just quickly. You know what?
Yeah.
We'll save Fist of the North Star to last because I've got so much to say about that film. Okay. Let's go with.
I might as well go DOA because we did mention it just a moment ago.
Yeah, we mentioned DOA.
All right. Okay. All right. All I can say about this film is Corey Yen is the director, and he edits the fight scenes in a way that it looks like there's kinetic energy to it, right?
Yeah.
He disguises very well the people that can't do stuff. So I'll give him that, right?
Yeah.
There's lots of movement going on and stuff like that. It's not quick edits like Taken or something where you can't see Jack,
yeah.
But it do like insert close-ups of the girls doing stuff. So you're like, okay.
Yeah.
It looks like they can do stuff, or if they know the long shots with stunt women or whatever. But it's done well because this guy is a Hong Kong stunt director and he knows how to make the best use of all the people there.
Yeah.
This is blatantly a Holly Valance movie vehicle, right? But I think I don't know how I can say she does particularly well in it, but there's a good couple of jokes with because basically they're just using her for essentially, I say her body, but I don't mean that in a bad way. I mean, they just have her, and there's a couple of jokes with like babies in bikinis and stuff like that. But there's a good joke where she, at the beginning, she has to beat up a bunch of guys in a hotel room in a towel, and then she gets her underwear on.
Yeah.
And then she goes into a lift after she gets away from them, and then there's this like old man in his suit trying to not look at her.
Yeah.
He's got a big suitcase, and then she kind of smiles at him, and you're like, and he's like just looking away, and then like the joke is, you see the person exit lift, and it's in oversized clothes, so it's her she's got the guy's clothes, and he went whap to the guy. The camera goes into the lift, and he's stuffed in the suitcase. I'm like, okay, that's quite funny actually.
It's like, oh, that works.
He wasn't dead. He was just trying to fight his way out of the suitcase. But I was like, okay, so they used a semi-dressed woman in a joke that it was kind of like, all right, fair enough.
Yeah, you're like, I can buy that. Yeah.
I mean, there was a payoff to her.
Yeah, because
but they like, okay, they knew their audience as well because this is in the middle of the movie. There's just blatant volleyball bikini match, and it's like, oh, this is not here for anything other than what it's there for.
No.
Up to them.
they're following the source material. Or as I could say, yeah, no, I'm saying, I would say out of the stuff we're watching, this probably follows the source material the most out of all the games, about all these films we've watched.
Well, as much as I would have to say some of the characters are rearranged just for the sake of this movie.
Yeah.
But, that I want to say they didn't need to have the volleyball match, but they just put it in for Babe's bikini and butt shots because.
Yeah, of course.
It knew what it was playing for.
Yeah.
It knew who it was going to.
But with that, they can kind of get around it saying like, we have a derived volleyball game, so synergy. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But so Kevin Nash was really good in this. Kevin Nash playing bass. I was like, and the segments where he has to. So when they're on the island and they have to fight each other, like in the tournament, he has to fight Tina, his daughter, which is played by Jamie Priestley.
Yep.
And all the times he goes to fight her, she's always in like awkward positions with another lady, like Holly Valance, who's playing Christy, had her room wrecked.
Yeah.
So they were sleeping in the same bed, and when Nash popped in, he goes, "Oh, you got a new friend?" And he goes, I'll come back another time. And then later on, when he comes back the other time the next day, someone's giving her like a massage on a boat. Yeah. And he's like, "Oh, I came at a bad time again, didn't I?" I was like, Nash, you knew exactly what you're playing.
Yeah, he saw Hogan and was like, "Hey, I'm gonna just do a more realistic version of Hulk Hogan."
Yeah.
About saying, "Hey, brother, and climbing these pythons, blah blah blah." Put myself over.
I found myself wishing, because he was very charismatic in this film, and I was wishing myself there was more Kevin Nash to this to help this film through.
Yeah.
The logic of the tournament made sense as well.
Yeah.
Even though, there's shurikens that came out of nowhere to invite people to the tournament, whatever, right?
Yeah.
Okay, how you found these random people that you give the shuriken invite to is, I guess, some of your own business, right?
Yeah.
Because there was a reason he was inviting them. He was getting them to play the tournament, get the final four or whatever. Like, I think that was how many people? Probably about 16 people invited, something like that.
Yeah, we'll say 16. It makes more sense. Yeah.
Or 32, however, but like an actual tournament. This has got an actual tournament bracket. Right?
Yeah.
And to eliminate everyone else, so he gets the final four contestants. Eric Roberts, who's playing Donovan. Yeah. And he's trying to assimilate their fight skills using the VR, whatever he is, the helmet thing.
Yeah, the glasses or whatever.
In the DC universe, yeah. And I was like, okay, that's. And then he sells it off to the highest bidder to be the ultimate fighter to a degree. And I'm like, that's actually quite. The plan is logical.
Yeah.
Give him for that.
The only thing,
the way to get them on the island is pretty logical as well. Like, you just bait them saying, "Oh, there's a competition for the best fighter and you win money."
Yeah.
Like, okay.
Easy motivation. Yeah.
Yeah. Exactly. What did you think of Zach?
He's very rapey.
Yes. Now this is unfortunate because I want to say, so of all the dudes there, I mean, he's like the only notable man of color there. Right?
Yeah.
And then he's coming on to a blonde lady, and it's just like, but he's kind of a bit too persistent.
Forceful.
Yeah. But what I will give credit to is, when it was Jamie Priestley, Tina, time to fight him. I mean, like, he's coming on to she don't want none of it.
Yeah.
When they were at I think a couple of brackets later, and they were having like a party, a DJ like a party thing, and these random fights happen whenever the time on the watches say.
Yeah.
She starts kicking him, right, and he falls into like backwards into the table of the food or the discs or whatever, right?
Yeah.
And then he's like, "Oh, you're gonna ruin this for everyone." It was like, "Oh, okay." So he's got a little bit of character development. He is self-aware.
Yeah.
And then after she beats him up, he's like, "Okay, it's cool."
He's like, "Yeah,
so
you know what?"
Yeah.
He's like, "You know what? Maybe I shouldn't be this forceful on women."
Yeah. I'm not sure if that's what they intended to do, but like, when he said, "Oh, you're gonna ruin this for everyone," to her, it's like, "Oh, you know what? Actually, he does have some compassion."
He has some compassion.
But when he's got a beeline, he's like, "Forget all that." I did like how Colin Chu and what's his name? The other actor.
Ken Kugarshi.
Yeah, Ken Kisagi. That's it.
Yeah.
They were in it, and they were the most capable fighters there, but they weren't being used to them. I mean, how'd you get guys that can do it when they're given the fighting to do, but they don't fight each other or anyone else who's extremely capable as themselves? That's a bit odd.
Yeah.
But when they were fighting, they were
great.
Yeah.
Like you said, the fight scenes are pretty good, and most of the time you actually see the women, I want to point at women, but the actors who are not known for their fighting, they're actually shown doing bits, because I'm pretty sure when I'm reading, a lot of the women actually, I keep saying women, a lot of people who are in this film trained to the fighting bits, and you kind of see it.
That's the thing. I think, like, in watching the scenes, and I'm trying to look at, okay, is this a stunt woman or is it them doing it? It looks like kind of the body type is very similar to them.
Yeah.
Okay, it's just a smart move because this Korean is a very good action director. Get the stuntmen to do most of the movement, and then it looks like, well, it's not necessarily just like they're doing the scenes. You know, they're involved with the actual stunts and choreography. Yeah. So it's very well done.
Yeah, because like, you know, the only time you can sort of obviously know it's not them is when they're doing that, climbing up the mountain to get to the top.
Or when they're doing like a spectacular backflips and stuff like that. Like, I don't think these ladies are trained enough to do that.
Yeah.
But I will say, one time it just horribly failed because he realized with the people involved, he could not do anything. It was when Holly Valance and Sarah Carter were having their fight.
Yeah.
And everyone, it must have been everyone in production knew exactly what was going to happen, because these ladies, they're going to be fighting in bikinis, right?
Yeah.
In the wet rain.
Yeah.
None of these, we can't throw stunt women. You can just tell from the body type it's not them.
Yeah.
Right? What we're going to do is just change the entire editing of this fight scene.
Yeah.
It'd be nothing, not similar to anything else, because we have to edit around these women. And when you see, you're like, yeah, this is not good. It's not good. But credit to them, they're trying to do the old magician's assistant distraction, where you just like watching the women, you know, in their bikinis.
Yeah.
I'm like, all right, fair enough. I knew what you're going for here, and you knew the limitations of these women. So you're just giving us eye candy at this point.
But I thought they pulled that scene off pretty well. It's like,
what they did in there was. But when you compare it to the rest of the choreography in the film, it's like, just dodgily cut.
Yeah.
But I give credit because they knew what they were doing.
Yeah. That scene was pretty well shot.
Yeah. You're saying artistically shot?
No, because, like, how...
Because I have to say, when it set the tone, the rain was going across, and then they just basically, I don't know if it's a body double or actual Sarah Carter, but they just sweep the camera right across her butt. And I'm like... Right.
Yeah, no, I read on my notes that was not appropriate. You know what I mean? Like, it was needless. Why?
yeah. Well, no, you say it's needless, but I guess they put it in because they were like, might as well give you something for the terrible action you're going to see coming soon.
Yeah, but the action wasn't that bad. It was just that bit sort of took me out of like, really? We're going to...
Yeah, but the rest of this film as well, look, let's just say they knew their target audience.
Yeah, they knew their target audience.
They knew what they were given and stuff like that. So
it could have been a lot worse, this film. So I can... Like...
What would you say? I mean, look, the action is pretty decent and stuff like that. So
the action's decent. The story is simple to follow.
I have to say, of all the females there, Katsumi Devon Aoki was the least character-wise, because she didn't have anything to do, really.
Yeah.
And I think it was a bit odd because she was fighting the guy. Was it Leon, right? Leon looked like a pro wrestler build.
Yeah, Leon.
She's a model, you know. She looks like a model build, right? And I'm thinking, I think one lip bit, he just picked her up and threw her through a wall or somewhere at some point.
Yeah.
I mean, she still defeated him. I'm like, but you know, it's kind of, he's a brute.
It's like that film, like all the other women, how they portrayed them, seemed capable. You know what I mean, of doing stuff. Like they're all badasses in their own way. But Kasumi and like, not a knock on Devon Aoki. What's her name?
Aoki.
Aoki.
Yeah, Aoki.
She kind of played her really stiff and
Yeah.
like just boring, if you know what I mean.
Well, okay. Look, I'll just say at least Jamie Priestley as Tina
Yeah.
had personality,
Yeah.
right? Holly Valance as Christy, just there to be kind of like a sexy cat thief kind of girl.
But she still had like a badassery to her, you know what I mean?
Look, she had some sort of person, like something distinctively different, right?
Yeah.
And Sarah Carter just as like, well, I have to give credit to Sarah Carter. She probably had to do the most acting out of these women because she had to
she's like plot A,
hook up with the nerd guy, right?
Yeah.
And then she found out the secret of what like Eric Roberts was doing, and she had to do that little funny sequence where the guy's daydreaming and she's like dancing around him and stuff like that. I was like, okay, fair enough. And she had to go rollerblade in the bikini as well, and I'm like, all right, well, she's like got given dodgy material, but she's just working with it.
Yeah,
fair enough.
But like, you know, they all brought something to their character.
Yeah.
Kasumi had nothing really. All it was, oh, my brother's gone missing, and I'm gonna go look for him, I guess. And then she was like really just bland. You kind of forget she's there, even though she's like technically the main character of this film.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I think Christy was. Christy had more screen time and more camera on her.
I reckon.
I guess.
I probably reckon.
I just say Holly Valance cannot carry this film.
No, she didn't have to. But like, you know what I mean? It's like I reckon Kasumi's character had more and they actually filmed it and they just watched it back and was like, wow.
F this shit. Yeah,
literally like let's re-edit stuff to make it look less.
Okay. The best compliments I can give this film is the fight scenes are actually pretty decent for what it is. The story is not great, but the idea behind it at least makes sense.
Yeah.
They never managed to get people that could do known for action fighting together to fight each other. Because if Colin Chul was having a match with Ken Kusagi, that would have been something. But hey,
but
you know,
they didn't because this film, unlike all the others, followed the source material. Those two would never fight because they're best friends.
Yeah.
See, like I said, like I'm quite well versed in the DOA universe. I've played all the games.
Yeah.
And coming from someone who's played all the games, this story in the film makes more sense than the story in the game. The story in the game.
So I do have to say, like Robin Shue made the appearance as a pirate in this.
Yeah.
And he died. He was in the beginning of the film, and then he was in the end of the film for like a tailor joke. I'm like, okay, fair enough. Yeah. There was a callback there. I would have liked to have seen Jamie Priestley, Tina, use actual wrestling moves in the thing because all their fighting styles, I want to say they look kind of the same-y, but there's no distinctively different fighting styles between everyone.
Yeah.
And Christie's buddy, that shady dude,
Max.
Yeah.
The
guy who's like betraying her and then hooking up with her and then I was like trying to seduce other women for quote unquote information. Like the way that he took down he was on the island, kind of rogue, if you know what I mean, because he wasn't advised for his fighting abilities, and they send some guy to take him down, and he accidentally defeats the guy. I was like, oh, you know what? That's actually quite funny.
But the worst thing about that in the games, like Bayman's like a militant, the guy who just murders anyone. He's that intense, but in this, he's like he got killed by not killed. He got taken down by a shoe.
Okay. 2 shoes.
Yeah, 2 shoes. You're like, oh, okay, cool. Comic relief.
And, you know what's funny? As we were saying about Zach being a creep.
Yeah.
Max here is also a bit creepy, but he's played for laughs.
Yeah.
And it's just like, you know. It's like, oh, okay. Well, you know, however you want to do it, you know.
Yeah, we're going to ignore one creep and focus on another creep. Even though one creep is actually worse than the other because he's sneaky about it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The other guy could be a creep because he's like insecure, so he like projects himself to be something else, so he gets noticed. But sly, creepy dude, the one you should worry about, really.
Exactly. But the thing is, it's because Zach's big, buff, and black, and this
Yeah,
guy's skinny and white. No, not
yeah,
necessarily. It's a race thing. It's just the size of the bodies
yeah,
as well that makes the huge difference. Because with these ladies here, like they could probably with their on-screen fighting abilities, they could
yeah,
probably beat up that guy who had that the skinnier guy. But when you got a big buff guy, you're like, oh, okay, he's being the creepy, like, okay,
yeah. Small other thing that
yeah,
I had a disagreement with in this film.
yep,
Me being the DOA expert and all.
yeah,
Ayami, they got her completely wrong.
yeah. Do tell.
Details. Okay, this is where it gets to the creepy territories as well. In the games, she's actually Kasumi and Hayati's half sister.
Yeah.
Due to a demon raping their mum, getting her pregnant, and Ayani is born.
Okay.
So yeah, and in this, she loves Hayati in a weird way. You're like, oh, this is.
Yeah.
And also, she's meant to be like underage, like proper underage.
To be fair though, when she was making an appearance, she could look like she could do stuff. So
Yeah,
and the shenanigans every time she did those odd shenanigans to try and sabotage Katsumi. So like I just appear out of nowhere, cause a little bit of terror, disappear. I'm like, all right, okay, I guess.
but
It makes sense.
another
Like,
broken logic.
Nowhere, I'm just gonna attack you and then disappear, or sabotage you and disappear. Okay?
Like the volleyball scene when she throws the ninja star. Like, if I was in that situation, I'm like, you know what? I want to stay around people because she's obviously not going to do something in the open, is she?
Yeah.
Instead of, I need to go, and you run into a forest.
Yeah.
It's like, that's like running into a fire. Why? I don't know.
I will say, I mean, this film.
It's the best.
Okay, it tries, right? With the fighting, because that's what you're there to see.
Yeah.
Because it's an action film. At least the fights try.
Yeah.
The ladies who doing their choreography look like they're trying.
Yeah.
The story, Eric Roberts walking in there like like a G. You're like, okay, fair enough. He's not too hammy, but he's hammy enough where he's like, the just rich businessman who's corrupt and stuff like that.
Yeah, he's like the rich businessman who spent a summer in like an Asian country and now is, a wannabe Asian
culture, right?
Yeah.
The thing is, though, it's like parts of this cast in this film know what they're supposed to be doing, and then parts of this cast are still kind of trying.
Out. Yeah.
Well, no, like Colin Cho, Ken Kasagi, they're in this action film, and they're like, all right, this action, right?
Yeah.
The Jamie Priestley, Holly Valance, Sarah Carter, and the lady who plays Yanni, they kind of like, and we'll throw Eric Roberts in there and Kevin Nash. They're like, okay, we know what kind of film we're in. We'll play our roles kind of exactly as we're supposed to. And then you got, I don't want to say like Devin Aoki, but you got the other guys who are like the brutes that not really add anything or anything to it.
Yeah.
Leon Abayman is just like, okay, they're there just to be not necessarily beaten up, but there's nothing to them.
Yeah.
So you have like three separate groups of people in this film, which kind of don't merge in a way like in a Double Dragon. Everyone knew it was a silly film.
Yeah. It's but at least in this film, unlike, I keep going back to this film, Mortal Kombat Annihilation, they know what they're doing. You know what I mean? They had a vision, they stuck with it. Mortal Kombat Annihilation is, let's throw everything up in the air and see what we catch. And nothing's caught.
At the very least, this actually had a tournament that actually had an end game. And there was actual bracket eliminations.
Yeah. And the bad guys' plot made sense.
Yeah.
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 I love this film. I saw this instead of Clerks 2. I don't regret nothing.
All right.
Don't
all
regret
right.
nothing.
Okay. All right. So you want to leave? Okay. Dragon Ball Evolution then, right? Because
Yep.
Fist of the North Star's last.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Right. I'll take this.
Okay.
Dragon Ball Evolution is alright. This is how I saw when I first saw it.
Yeah.
Because I went in as a Dragon Ball fan, thinking it's got to hit this, this, and this, which it didn't. Fair enough.
Yeah.
But then I spoke to my cousin, and he's one of these people who always sees the good in things. He's like, you know what? If you see it as just a film about a guy, like a boy, a teenage boy, coming of age, going on an adventure, nothing to do with Dragon Ball, it's an okay film. So
I will look here. Okay, here's what I do agree to a degree, right?
Yeah.
The mystical adventure side, like as soon as they started leaving the school and all that stuff in the background,
yeah,
the mystical adventure bit, that's the stuff. But when they put in like, oh, he gets bullied in high school and all that stuff, and like, look, man, ignore that stuff, right?
Yeah.
He's training. Boom, you could have saved yourself 20 minutes. You could have introduced Chi-Chi somewhere later in the tournament setting that they were having. Because they threw in the tournament there, he needed to meet Chi-Chi again.
Yeah.
So if you made him go on mystical adventure and the tournament's part of it, then you could have saved yourself 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Though there is a sequence where all the bullies they run over his car his bicycle at the beginning of their car.
Yeah.
His bicycle was electric bike or whatever, right?
Yeah.
They run over that, and then obviously he's promised his grandpa he wouldn't fight, so it's like, oh, come off it. But they're being typical high school bullies, so when he goes to the party later on, they try to beat him up.
Yeah.
And
he beats them up without actually touching them.
I'm going to mention something before this.
Yeah.
He uses his chi energy to help Chi-Chi open a locker.
Yeah.
Well, then he blasts the entire thing, right?
Yeah.
But there's relevance to this later on. So when he swaggers up to Chi-Chi's castle that he's been invited to, all the boys are trying to bully him. He doesn't fight any of them, but he just dodges all the moves and they all hit each other. What's that? Okay, that's quite well choreographed. And then when the main bully,
Fuller,
what is he? Pick up a crowbar, yeah?
Yeah, he went too far.
He goes to fight Goku, and Chi-Chi's like, no, don't do it, or whatever, right?
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, all right, because she knows about Chi, is she telling him what to do because Goku will destroy him, or is she just being like typical, trying to protect the nerdy guy? I was like, oh, this could have went two ways, and I'm trying to lean towards she saw him use the Chi, so she knew the amount of damage she could do to this guy.
I think she saw, hey, if he gets hit with a crowbar, the police get involved, and that's a whole bunch of fish.
She had her own back. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Fair enough.
She didn't want to murder on her property, so.
I was trying to give the movie props, and you're trying to say no. It's transparent. There's no nothing going on other than exactly what's on the surface. Like, oh, okay, fair enough.
Yeah,
fair
man.
enough.
Nah, I saw it as a logical real life thing. Like, yeah, no, she doesn't want a murder case on her house, and that means no more parties.
So yeah, there's a string at the beginning where they talk about sewing her lips, and this is in the class at the beginning. So later on, when Goku turns to Zoru because of the eclipse, you're like, okay, at least they left this thing at the beginning, and they pick up all the way at the end.
Yeah, callback. Yeah.
Yep. I like that Bulma calls the Dragon Ball's Promethean orbs. Yeah. Because everyone's got the same name for the same thing, and it just makes sense.
Yeah.
The Dragon Balls give Goku visions of the Ozaru. And like, okay.
Sure.
But that's sharing for the people that don't know that Goku is going to be the Ozaru.
Yeah.
So like, okay, that's kind of clever as well. Bulma, the lady playing Bulma, Emi Rosem, doesn't have blue hair. I think she could have actually pulled it off because with her skin tone.
Yeah.
Like, she had that paler kind of skin tone. It's like, you can pull blue hair off, but I guess they will. Because everyone else in the film has kind of darker hair.
Yeah.
Like Chakwin, Chow Fat, the Japanese lady, Eriko Tamura.
Yeah.
And Jamie Chung.
Yeah, they all have it.
They all had darker hair, so I guess they didn't want her to stick out too much with with blue hair. I'm like, okay, kind of a decent choice they made actually there. She could have pulled off the look, I reckon, myself.
Yeah, she could have.
Everyone else with dark hair, it just would have stuck out too much probably. So it's like, okay, fair enough. Makes sense.
Yeah.
I did like as well that all the female characters in it, the three main female characters being Bulma, Mai, and Chi-Chi, all are distinctively different. Because Mai was just basically your sexy Asian sidekick, essentially. Bulma's like a archaeologist adventurer, just weapons
with attitude.
And, and Chi-Chi's like the schoolgirl martial artist. Like, okay, they all set, and the actresses played to those personas.
Yeah,
so they didn't, like everyone, because the sex Asian sidekick was kind of more silent. As you said, Bulma a bit more attitude, but not too, not dislikable kind of attitude. Just
not
like
in your face.
Fire. And gets rough when she needs to.
Yeah.
And Chi-Chi's like the more quieter kind of sensible persona.
Yeah, they're not all copy paste woman.
Yeah. Exactly. So I give credit to that.
Yeah.
I did like Chow Yun-fat's casting as Martin Reggie. He did.
Oh God. He
did pretty well. If you're excusing the source material, he did pretty well.
Yeah.
Playing that character, an over the top kind of hammy character.
Yeah.
Randall Duck Kim playing Gohan also, and James Masters. He knew what he was doing as Piccolo.
Yeah.
So I think the cast actually was all right.
Cast was good.
The story had bits and pieces where it's like, okay, we know we're going for specific things.
Yeah.
That's. What do you think of the end fight?
The end fight
where Piccolo and Goku. He finally learns the Kamehameha, which makes sense as well because they were building up the entire movie for him to finally do the special move.
Yeah.
So like, okay, yeah.
It was okay. It wasn't too great.
It's not as spectacular as you would want to expect.
Yeah. But
they tried. I guess they gave some effort.
Like, in their defense, they were probably thinking, all right, this is the first film of our planned whatever many films and do. We could sort of do a not lackluster fight, but like a not subpar, an okay end battle, because in the next one obviously it'd be a lot better because and it's the beginning of Dragonball. So in the beginning of Dragonball, Goku wasn't like the bestest of fighters, was he? So you can sort of if you're looking at source material wise, you can get around that.
I will say as well that that Goku had his gi that he was wearing at the end.
Yeah.
But within the movie, at the very beginning, he was wearing a blue and orange hoodie. So it kind of like gave you the idea of like, okay, so the guy's not quite that character yet.
Yeah.
And then by the end of the movie, he's wearing the gi. You're like, okay, he's earned his he's
only stripes.
Yeah. If that's what they were going for. But I did find it funny how, because there was no turtle reference whatsoever.
Yeah. Because
Master Roshi's not wearing a turtle on the turtle shell or anything like that. The symbol at the back of Goku's gi is just a symbol. Yeah, no, it's like, forget there's no message behind it. There's that character, whatever. It is just a symbol. We don't need to explain it. It is,
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, fair enough, because how can you explain it? There's nothing, you don't reference anything that will allude to it. It's just is a symbol that he was wearing on the back of his gi. Fair enough.
Yeah. It was like when I first, like I said a minute ago, when I first saw it, I had so much problem with it. 11 years removed, I'm like, it's okay. It's a good kids film. Kids can enjoy this.
Yeah, look, it could have been better.
Yeah,
it's not. It's not. Okay. Yeah, it could. I'm gonna say that some bits aren't so bad as others, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's the kind of the best way I could put it.
Yeah,
It's not super terrible, but at the
it,
same time, it's
it's
not
not
great.
great. It's in the middle. It's like if
Oh, I'm gonna say this, right?
yeah,
It kind of puts effort to a certain degree, but the effort doesn't match its the ambition, and the ambition was too much
yeah,
for the movie to handle.
yeah. I agree with that.
All right.
Like it's a film you could put on for like a kid who's never heard of Dragon Ball. Pretty sure
Yeah.
they'll enjoy it.
Yeah, yeah. And maybe see, I was gonna say, look, the mystical adventure stuff, fine. The high school stuff they always have to set up, but the bullied kids and I was like, forget that stuff.
Yeah,
They need it. They need it because them guys disappear after 20 minutes of film and never make a new reappearance.
yeah.
Like,
So it's kind of why you introduce them if you're just
yeah,
gonna throw in the background that quick. Yeah,
exactly. I did like how they had the little capsule stuff that Bulma had, where she just threw the little pump thing, and then the gadget turned into a bike or stuff like that. You know.
yeah, that was cool.
And how Master Roshi made Goku carry all that stuff in the net, like the massive, basically everything in his house. It looked like, and he was running alongside the motorcycle. Oh, okay.
Yeah, like that's a callback to the show, kind of.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the elephant in the room, or to me anyway. Yamcha, why?
Yeah. And as much as I said all the people had dark hair here, he had dyed. He was a Korean guy with dyed blonde hair.
Yeah, blonde tips, whatever.
Like, look, okay, they tried to make Bulma and Yamcha kind of ish get together, but it looked a bit odd because the lady playing Bulma, Emmy Rossum, I don't know if she was like 20, if she was like early in her 20s, yeah?
Yeah.
But the way she looked like she could be about 20 on the dot.
Yeah.
Okay. He clearly looked like late 30s.
Yeah, because dude's 51 now, so...
Yeah.
Ugh.
So it was like, oh, there's creepy vibes going on here.
Yeah.
No, to be fair, the way that he was very dudeish.
Yeah, I thought we'd bring that up, yeah.
But, yeah, they just didn't look like an appropriate pairing. She could have called him daddy, you know what I mean?
Yeah, literally.
Yeah.
It was...
yeah. But I don't think, if he wasn't, I don't think the guy wasn't badly cast as the dudeish Yamcha. It's just that when they tried to put him together with her, it kind of stuck out even more of like, I'm going to turn my head because I don't want to see what I'm seeing. Though it's funny, we say how old this guy is, but the lady playing Mai was like in her 30s in this film.
Yeah.
And I was like, whoa, she looks like probably, she could probably pass for late 20s and stuff like that.
Yeah. She looks after herself,
Yeah. She doesn't look, it's like, this lady's like, okay, she doesn't look as young as the cast out, like Emmy Rossum and Jamie Chung, who are playing school kids, essentially. Yeah. But she looks like, she could be, mid to late 20s-ish.
Yeah.
And they got to do stuff as well, the ladies. So
yeah, they were good.
Like to them.
Women represented good in this film.
Yeah. There's decent bits, and then there's bit. You know what's funny as well? It's probably good in spite of the story, which wasn't great.
Yeah. The story was.
Yeah.
The story was one of those stories that you probably could tell someone wrote that in an afternoon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The fight scenes weren't so bad either, though.
No, they were okay.
Yeah, exactly. It wasn't It wasn't like Dragon. It wasn't like Double Dragon where they had to disguise everything because of people.
Yeah.
Yeah. And when Jamie Chung was fighting Mai, who was pretending to be Jamie Chung as well.
Yeah.
Quite well done because it's like whoever's doing the stunts on the other side, looked very similar enough, like, the camera shots and stuff like that. You're like, okay, I can believe that she's fighting herself.
Yeah.
Camera trickery.
There was... Oh. There was a little bit I found funny, and I wrote my notes. There's a bit where Yamcha and Bulma are walking through that market.
Yeah.
And Yamcha goes, I'm not a bad guy. And then Bulma goes, who says I don't like bad guys? I was like, that's foreshadowing Vegeta. Like, oh, Yamcha,
Yeah.
of course you're not.
Yeah, yeah, it kind of, yeah, okay, that makes sense. That makes sense. Yeah, I just, yeah, this
Yeah.
film,
It's alright.
I can see why it performed the way it was.
Yeah.
Just don't, if you're going to watch it, don't expect to expect people that are named and in costumes of certain Dragon Ball characters, but just don't expect them to be actually them characters.
Yeah.
That's the best way to put it.
Did you also hear about how the creator of Dragon Ball, Akira Toriyama,
Yeah,
like dismissed this film,
yeah,
and this
yeah.
what brought him back to make Dragon Ball Battle of Gods?
Well, I do find it funny because I do believe he also, I want to say he praised the film to a degree,
Yeah.
and then he afterwards when he got to after years later, it was like, yeah, now I can slate this film because I don't need to promote it.
Yeah.
I was like, fair enough, the man was in it for the money.
Yeah, man, at least he admitted it. And then the actual writer of this film, he's gone on to apologize about how he should have read more of the source material, and this project was basically him chasing a big payday.
Yeah.
And he just feels bad about it. I was like, oh,
Yeah.
poor guy.
James Masters, who's playing Piccolo, is a fan, and I'm glad he kind of got back to play in Super. He got to voice the Master, so it's like, okay, you know what? He was a fan. He thought he was gonna. He was like, oh, this story is Piccolo. It's the Demon Lord Piccolo, but not the Piccolo that everyone recognizes from Z. I'll get there eventually at some point with the character and stuff like that. And he's like, yeah, no.
Because, like, apparently from what I heard as well, him and the guy who played Goku, Justin Chatwick, they will question things like, this doesn't sort of happen in source material. And they're like, no, it's fine. And they're like, but no, we should.
Yeah.
Because he read a lot of it to prepare for the role. So he had, like, quite a knowledge of the film, of the Dragon Ball as well.
Yeah.
But
I have to say, I give credit to Justin Chatwin, where his hair, they kind of got it to spike up and everything like that.
Yeah.
But they didn't make it overtly super lengthy like Goku's hair you would expect, because he can't do that.
No, it just looks stupid.
Yeah, exactly. They took it to a level where they knew, okay, it's not too wildly out of control. Just kind of keep it at a certain degree.
Yeah,
so give him credit like that. Here's the major problem as well. We haven't pointed out yet, but okay, he's an alien from space, right?
Yeah.
Or wherever he is in this film, right? But in the anime, he's an alien from space, so he don't have to be Japanese or Asian or specific, right?
Yeah.
But when your main character is called Goku, and he's played by a white boy, you'd be thinking that's the Kyu Kasagi problem we had in King of the Fighters.
Yeah, but at least in this,
you
can get away with it because obviously he was found by, I want to say, a Chinese guy.
He was found by a Korean playing a Japanese guy.
Yeah, right. He's found by that, and obviously he can name his adopted child whatever he wants.
Yeah.
But the problem in this film is it's sort of set in, I want to say, an American-like place.
Yeah.
So kind of. There's the problem there. You're like, you can't really, because I've had like many arguments when people say, "Oh, why are they getting a white guy to play Goku?" I'm like, but Goku's not Japanese.
Yeah. See, the logic kind of track, but the thing is like, why would he? Like you're saying, if it's in America, why didn't call him like John or Peter? Or,
exactly.
Not necessarily something English, I'm saying, but just like Goku is not what you would call an American-looking white kid in that part of the world. Even if you are from Japan, you try to name him something kind of like that could be easily phonetically adjusted for wherever he is.
Yeah. So
if it's not the dude from Tekken, I forgot his name now. John Fu, right? If they got John Fu to play Goku, I could accept it.
I don't know.
No, as in, if they called him Goku, right?
Yeah.
He's half Chinese, half English / Irish, right? So if they called him Goku, like, okay, it kind of makes sense.
Yeah, it kind of makes sense. Yeah,
it would be called Goku.
Yeah.
They just kind of went the whitewashing way, and you're like, okay, right.
But you can't really say it's whitewashing.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I know what you mean.
Because like, you can tell in like the cartoons and that she's some of Asian descent because she's pale white, not to be racist, whatever. And Goku's pink.
Yeah.
So in like cartoons and that, pink means you're white, doesn't it?
Yeah. Well, I think it's just more like they go by the name, and let's be fair, like you're saying, he could be from anywhere.
Yeah,
he's just Goku's a Japanese name.
Yeah.
So you just an Asian name that you kind of just assume they should probably cast someone from that part of the world. Yeah. But you know what? In one of the dubs, he was called Zero. I think it was a Harmony Gold dub.
Yeah.
He was called Zero, and you could have called anyone.
Yeah, it doesn't matter what you are.
If you were casting with the name Zero, you know anyone could be cast in there, and you'd be like, fine, I accept it.
What they should have done is, like, he had his English name, like Gordon or whatever.
Yeah, okay.
But his granddad calls him Goku.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, so you sort of kind of get around that way, but then people complain because they're saying you're butchering this.
Well, why is he called Gordon? You know?
Yeah, because he's white. That's why his grandfather's like, to your white friends, you're Gordon.
No, I think they would have got backlash no matter what.
Yeah, what they've done.
Anyway, so they just went for the most straightforward way to do it.
Yeah.
It's still got them backlash, but they're like, whatever.
Yeah.
It's gonna happen.
But there's hopes anyway because Disney own the rights to Dragon Ball now. So
okay. So, would you say in conclusion, this kind of like as a silly adventure film, this is all right when it kicks into the actual search for the Dragon Ball adventures. Anything before that, like the first 20 minutes, I didn't kind of really enjoy.
Yeah. No, same. I kind of zoned out during that part.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Okay. But you would say, I mean, like when I first saw it, I thought it was terrible. But now rewatching it, it's like it's got decent moments in it.
Yeah.
Forced romance in it.
Yeah.
But at least there was a payoff to that because she had to. So Mai was disguised as Chi-Chi.
Yeah.
Right, and then Goku jumped in there to help her, but he didn't know which one to help, and he accidentally helped the wrong one. And then as soon as he realized, like, and then she kicked him in the head, and knocked him out, or something like that. But then later on at the end, they were having this. They got together, and then they were squaring up to have the little a tournament match between them. It was like, oh, yeah, you only took me because I was. I could take you out though.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, fair enough. They're gonna have a, she's not just there to be like the romantic, typical, love interest.
Yeah.
She's actually there to have
she's actually a character.
Yeah, exactly.
But I did wish there was a sequel to see where it went. To be fair.
Actually, this is the oddness of this film because if it went completely campy and over the top, it'd be way more enjoyable.
Yeah.
And if we went, I don't want to say the drama route, but like an actual action adventure, it could have been better as well. But it kind of smushed it in the middle there, where it's parts of this and parts of that.
Yeah.
And it affects the overall presentation because you're not sure which direction they're going.
Yeah.
A bit like we're going to compare to these films, but Double Dragon knew exactly what it was, right?
Yeah.
This North Star, as we're going to go to, is trying to be something else. Yeah. Let's. Do you have any more to say about Dragon Ball? Or we can sweep over to Fist North Stars.
Nah, sweep over. We spoke about Dragon Ball enough.
Dragon
Ball, it's okay.
Let me just put it this way: Fist North Stars trying to be a legit, serious kind of action film.
Yeah. And
it can't. It's not. It's not. It's not. Let's put it that way.
It's.
You want to? No. You got to say the good things first. Good things first. You want to say it, but
the good things. It's got Big Van Vader in it.
Yeah. Okay.
Lord Shin is a pretty boy.
Lord Shin, by the way, is the guy who played. You ever seen Saw?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's the guy from Saw. He's the cop.
Yeah, I was thinking. I was like, he looks familiar. So I IMDb'd it. I was like, oh, that's who he is. Okay, cool. Malcolm McDowell's in it.
So do you want to continue with saying your good things, and I'll get to saying my good things afterwards?
Yeah, I only got like 2 more good things, if I'm honest. Actually, no, that's all. Just the random people in it. That was pretty cool. I have nothing else really good to say.
Yeah.
Malcolm McDowell, he adds stuff to films, I guess. That's the only other.
Okay, so let me just point out as well. I found this kind of funny.
Yeah.
That he's British and he didn't even bother hiding his accent, right?
Nope.
And Gary Daniels playing Kenshiro.
Yep.
Is British as well, right?
Yeah.
So I can say, all right, fair enough. Gary Daniels' accent because his master has also an accent.
Yeah.
But they're from completely different regions.
Yep.
But whatever, man. We could just say that area has different types of people. So when Gary accent's American accent kind of slips-ish, I don't even know how much he bothered with it, to be honest.
Don't see why he tried.
Yeah, but at least there's reason for him to have like a kind of hybrid accent as well.
Yeah.
So that makes sense. I did like it as well where Shin at the beginning is like, I'm not going to fight Malcolm McDowell because he's the master of the North Star style or whatever. I'm just going to shoot him with a gun because,
Yeah, because... But that to me seemed broken. But carry on saying your good things. We'll go back to all this.
No, I'm just saying a logical choice because why... If you don't reckon you have the ability to fire a guy, just shoot him down.
Yeah.
It makes sense. I think he revolver shot him in... He revolver shot to the camera where the camera is supposed to be the eye view of Malcolm McDowell. So basically, he shot him in the face. Is essentially what you're telling me without having to tell me.
But it makes no sense.
You say about Vader is good, right? And I'm going to say, so Vader, everyone's trying. Okay, some people are trying this film more than others, right?
Yeah.
Vader acts like a pantomime-style pro wrestler in this film.
Yeah.
So he sticks out-ish to a degree, but you is memorable.
Yeah.
Chris Penn is playing a scumbag.
Oh, God.
And he's also memorable.
Yeah.
Right? Because of how, like we were saying, a creepy slimeball he is, yeah?
Yeah, super creepy.
Gary Daniels tries, because at the end where he gets back with Julia, and he's kind of like looking at her like, like he's finally rejoined with his love.
Yeah.
But, okay, he's putting effort in here. The special effects look pretty good, like as in the practical special effects where people are getting exploded and stuff like that.
Yeah, even though most of the time, like the head explosion, they cut away, so you don't see the heads like explode.
But where the head is, when they get hit with the move and the head is bubbling.
Yeah, that looks cool.
Yeah, and where Shin hit Kenshiro, the second time we're having the fight, he hit Kenshiro with that like Southern Cross palm or whatever it was.
Yeah. And
Kenshiro's limbs burst with blood, like his upper half anyway, because his lower half is in trousers. You don't know if that explodes. But I thought, okay, fair enough. And then when he gets up to fight, it's just like he starts throwing kicks at Shin. And I'm like, oh, okay, these people are paying attention because he can't swing his arms anymore, throwing punches because busted veins, right?
Yeah. He's like, oh. Cool.
And then they are on the something else, and they cut back, and he's swinging fists. I'm like, what?
You're like, you was on point for something good, and then you threw it away.
Yeah.
In the span of like 10 seconds.
Yeah, exactly. I was like, oh, they're doing something that makes sense, and then he just chain punches Shin, and I'm like,
okay,
yeah, fair enough. He threw elbows because he threw a couple of kicks, and then he threw elbows. I'm like, that's probably still logical, right? But then punches straight out, punches at this point.
Yeah, you're like,
But to be fair, they did set up beforehand where Shin palm thrust some other dude, and he went down. Exploding limbs with blood, and then when he did a Kenshiro, you're like, oh, okay, but callback obviously because the man has to survive.
Yeah.
I will say as well, there was a good bit between Chris Penn, who's playing Jackal, not Jaggy, Jackal, and Julia. Julia. I'm going by the names in anime, but Julia, right?
Yeah.
Where she pretended to hear some rails or something underneath the floor.
Yeah.
To lure him closer because he was trying to terrorize her.
Yeah.
Once you get close and he decides there ain't nothing on the floor or whatever, she pulls like the metal shelving behind, like that's behind him on top of him.
Yeah.
And then he's like, "Oh, I'm gonna get you love," and stuff like that. I do that in Cockney, but I'm just me.
Yeah.
American, your standard American kind of threats, right?
Yeah.
And then later on, where he's trying to assault her, she grabs the lever that's keeping his face together, throws it into cogs, and kicks a cog lever over. And then, it pulls the
bandage off.
Thing off his head. I'm like, okay, she's got they just foreshadowed it 5 minutes earlier, but she's quite inventive and got some ingenuity. She knows her surroundings. I'm like, okay, smart.
Well, she has been like locked up there for like God for knows how long, many years now.
Oh, that's the thing. I thought, okay, the guy playing Shin, I thought it was just gonna be like, he loves her and he's trying to protect her.
Yeah.
She doesn't accept his love because she likes Kenshiro, yeah?
Yeah.
She wants to be Kenshiro, which made sense in the anime. But here, it's like, he does do that to a certain degree, and then after when she's picking up the thing that gives her the memories of Kenshiro, whether it's the locket or
yeah.
And he just smacks it out of her hands, and he's going to smack her across the face, and she's like, "Go on there." I'm like, "Oh man, you're just making Shin like." Well, at least from the very beginning, he's shady.
Yeah.
Terrorizing, like basically stabbing his fingers through Kenshiro. Julia, you love me. Tell me you love me.
Yeah.
And then when she finally does it, like it's like now he turns into an abusive husband.
Yeah.
It's like, well, kind of this transition kind of makes sense. He was always in like the way they portrayed him in the film was always kind of this way. So yeah, okay, fair enough.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. Why not?
But it's just like, even that back logic makes no sense. Like, I want to make this woman say she loves me, even though she doesn't love me. It's like, so you want?
Dude, you cut again.
I cut that. Like, I don't get Shin's point.
Yeah.
Like, why you want a woman to live in fear of you, but you love her?
Well, that's the thing, isn't it? In the anime,
yeah,
if you flip it kind of from a certain perspective, you can see why Shin's doing what he's doing because he doesn't think Kenshiro can protect her.
Yeah.
Here, though, they're like, he's not necessarily, and Jaggy was kind of pushing him to do it, right, in the anime.
Yeah.
He is more villainous through and through, and he's like, I'm just going to do it because I can do it.
Yeah.
Which is the attitude. It's like, okay, fair enough, because we're going to shortcut a couple of things here and there. We want you to hate Shin to see him get beat up.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know
if we are going to... I was going to say, if that's all the good things we can say, by the way.
Yeah, that was it.
Any other things you can add? Because I'm going to say, the guy playing Bat, at least he had like
some chemistry. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's about it.
Some of the costumes look pretty good for the post-apocalyptic world that they lived in, but let's just put it this way, right? When you just throw dirt on a towel or whatever it is, and the clothing, you do kind of like just look like where you're supposed to be.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Dirty. Yeah.
Yeah. Any other good things you can say about this film?
It wasn't that long.
Okay, let's just get to exactly where we need to go to.
Yeah.
The action is terrible for a Fist of North Star film, for an action film. I mean, as good as Gary Daniels kind of looks the physical part, right?
Yeah.
When he does the Thousand Crap Fist of North Star, wherever he is, and the guy's like, "What?"
Yeah.
Like the guy just no-sells him.
You're already
like, that's what the entire audience is looking at, going, "What the hell was this finger point thing about?"
Yeah.
And then his head explodes, but you're like, still, that doesn't make up for the stupid finger pointing thing that he was doing beforehand.
No. Yeah, his hair wig or whatever to look weird.
Yeah.
His stubble looked weird.
Yeah. How do you know, by the way, it's a wig? Because that could actually be his.
That could be actually his hair, but it just looks terrible.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's trying to be a legit post-apocalyptic action film, but when you look at it, say Mad Max style, right?
Yeah.
Mad Max 2, The World Warrior.
Yeah.
That's the way it's kind of done right. Here it just looked like they filmed in the back, like it proper looks cheap.
Yeah. It's like someone rented out like a warehouse
Yeah.
and a quarry for a weekend, and that was it.
Yeah. Oh man. Just.
It's just they tried to condense so much into into a short amount of time as well.
Yeah.
It's like I can't care for you, Kenshiro. You haven't done anything.
Yeah. Yeah. Am I supposed to care for you because your woman got taken away?
Yeah.
Because one of these bad guys is so slimy, like Chris Penn.
Yeah.
I just wanted to get beat by anyone, right?
Yeah.
But Shin is if he did slap Julia.
Yeah.
And told her your man is dead. You belong to me. Yeah. All right. Fair enough. He just needs to go a little bit further where you want to see him get beat.
Yeah.
Okay. You want to put yourself through the film so you can see Kenshiro beat him up.
Yeah.
But this film drags.
Because like you don't see Shin do anything else bad except for kill Kenshiro and the Master. Besides that,
yeah.
Like he's not telling this gang to go and murder people and stuff. He's just literally in his palace chilling, doing nothing.
He's there in his palace. Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like you have no other reasons to think he's a despicable human being.
Yeah. By the way, we're talking about Bat, right? Do you recognize him?
Yeah, Rufio.
Yes.
Yeah. That's in my notes. I've written Rufio.
No, I just wanted to point out because we didn't point that out. But yeah.
You know what? I thought he was playing Ray for some reason. I don't know why.
Who?
Isn't there a character in the Fifth North Star called Ray?
Yeah.
For some reason, I thought Bat was him for all these years until I rewatched it now. I was like, oh, he's nothing to do with it.
Okay. Yeah. They just this film tried to be something that clearly it did not have the money to do.
Yeah. Straight to DVD.
It just looks like I can't. Like we're saying with the other films, at least we can say some good stuff about it.
Yeah, this one
right?
you can't.
Well, we struggled to say certain bits that kind of were here and there, right? Well, we noticed that we were trying to say good, but then it starts getting lower and lower to the tier where we're trying to scrounge for stuff, and then we're like, there's nothing to kind of,
Because going back to you saying him shooting the Master with the revolver.
Yeah.
All right. From my interpretation from the anime movie and series and all that, which I don't know too much about, but I'm pretty sure these guys are meant to be faster enough to like dodge a bullet or catch it.
Oh, wait. If we pretend the movie is in its own continuity, so they never display any of this stuff. So let's just say they might not be able to. But to be fair, he had the gun locked down on the Master's head, like basically point blank. So yeah. How fast do you need to be to dodge that? Yeah.
But he's the Master. He should be able to like instant translocation or whatever around the guy. Something. You know what I mean? It's just you can't say this dude's the Master who's taught people to kill someone with a finger poke or whatever, but then goes down to a bullet.
Look, that's what I'm saying. They took the cheap way out, but it made logic in this film. That's all I can say. This just kind of not great, but I did like you like the end because it finished, right?
Yeah.
But there's another bit at the end where after Kenshiro's had a fight with Shin, and then all the people kind of like all Shin's group or the underlings or whatever they want to call them, right?
Yeah.
The minions.
Yeah.
They start walking up the stairs as Kenshiro's come down, and it looks like, oh, Kenshiro's going to have another fight.
Yeah.
He's all beaten up. And they step towards him, and then they kneel down and raise their weapons to him. I'm like, okay, subverted expectations, fair enough. And at this point, it kind of made sense because he did beat up the leader, like the guy man who owned the castle, and now he's. I don't want to say he's their new leader or anything because we don't know what happens after that.
No, but I kind of saw that coming. Like, oh yeah, this is it going in it. He's the new Lord of the Thunderdome or whatever. So you're like, oh,
Lord of the Thunderdome. Yeah, that's right.
So like, oh, okay, cool, I guess.
But But yeah, I just
Yeah, craptastic.
it's just not good. I mean, it's like okay. Look, if it went completely over the top,
Yeah,
exploding bodies like made of plasticine everywhere, yeah,
yeah,
and it would be like spectacularly bad.
yeah,
Like just randomly kick a guy and his head explodes against a wall or stuff like that. Like even if they did, for example, Gary Daniels having a couple of fights
yeah,
where he puts the guy and then they cut to like a plasticine head exploding or something like that, right?
yeah.
And then he picks another guy and they just throw a dummy with like a balloon, water balloon, like red water balloon head, full of liquid, and it want to explode. It's like, okay, fine.
You're like, fine,
Like,
yeah, cool.
you know?
Go all in with the insanity.
Yeah. But then it might go to Ricky O route where it's just like, have you seen Ricky O?
No, what's Ricky O?
Okay, right. Well, first of all, note this down because you got to watch the. What films are we gonna? Okay, have are we finishing slating Ricky? Fist and Star.
Of course.
All
We've
right.
gone for hours, but I'm not going to.
Okay, so let's note down some other films.
Okay.
We want to get after this, right? And I'm
All right.
saying these bad films, right?
All right.
The Legend of Ricky O, because if you haven't seen it, you got to see it.
Okay. Let me write this down.
Ricky O. This is insanity.
Okay.
I watched this film. I'm not gonna. We're not gonna talk about it in detail. But the first time I watched this film, I thought it was terrible. And then when you watch it again, you're like, yeah, this is definitely a
This is
film.
bad.
What any other films you? Because I've got another one as well. Actually, I'll choose two films and you choose two films.
All right. What's the second one?
Okay, so I've got two bad films, but how bad do you want to go?
Super bad. Go for it.
Okay, I haven't seen this film myself,
Yeah.
right? But
Yeah.
I do want to see it. It's called
Okay.
Enter the Game of Death.
I
You
think I've
know
heard
about
this.
exploitation? Do you know you
Yeah.
got black exploitation stuff? Yeah?
Yeah.
They had all the fake Bruce Lees
Yeah.
in those films, and it was called Bruce exploitation, right?
Oh wow. Yeah.
So basically, this game is Game of Death.
Yeah.
With a fake Bruce Lee in it, but
Okay,
more
cool.
in line with the actual original Game of Death concept.
Oh.
Enter the Game of Death. Right? It's got Bruce Lee. That's Bruce Lee. Bruce with L-E, you know? Not two E's, just one E.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah.
His family should sue. Okay. All right. How?
So, horrible film that I'm going to implore you to watch, and you are telling me which film.
All right. How bad do you want?
Okay, let's go. All right, let's go super bad. Have you seen these films that you're going to suggest?
One of them I've seen. I think you've
Okay.
probably seen it as well, but it's been years.
Okay, go on.
Super Mario Brothers.
Oh my goodness. Okay, yes.
Yep.
I'm curious to give that another rewatch. Yes.
All right. Let
Okay.
me try that down.
Yeah. Let's see how bad it is.
Yeah, after being years removed. And the fourth one, let me just have a quick think. Like, this one might be hard to find. I don't know if it classes a movie.
Oh no. Okay, if like a TV show, what is it?
It's like a TV show, but I think because it got cancelled, they split into like one movie.
Okay. How many episodes of it do you want me to watch?
I think it might be only like 2 episodes.
Oh,
I don't know
okay.
if you might have seen anyway. The original Justice League of America from like 1990 something.
I have that TV movie. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
No. All right. Just okay. Yeah. Okay. Let's do that. Oh my god. Justice League. Okay. All right. Great. Okay. Justice League of
America. I think it's called America. Justice League of America.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. Yeah. Oh, I remember when I first watched that, but we'll get to that point afterwards.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I want to say good stuff like that, but maybe even bad good stuff.
Oh, it's just because it hurt my brain.
Straight. What we're gonna say is some of them might be as bad as we remember. Some of them might be better than we remember. Because as doing this, we do when we rewatch films.
Yeah.
Some of them you got to applaud now, years later, decades later. Some of the barefaced stupidity that some of these films have for sheer entertainment value. Yeah.
Or if you're gonna watch, I don't know if you've watched this. I haven't, but I've heard it's terrible.
All right.
The House of the Dead film.
I actually have. Okay. No. We've got 4 already. But
I say because we could get rid of Super Mario and put that in instead.
No. It's up to you which one you want to swap out. But I'm definitely going to make a note of that for later on.
Yeah, make a note. We'll do it later on.
Yeah. All right. We'll stick to Super Mario Brothers now for the.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what? For some reason, you said House of the Dead, right?
Yeah.
I noted down Dead of the House. I don't know why I read it wrong.
You know what? I wouldn't be surprised if that's actually the film called Dead of the House. A bootleg version of this film.
Yeah. Okay, so that's us signing off for this episode.
Yes, sir.
I am the savior of the Southern Cross Swan. C.Y. Chung.
Okay. And I am the legendary ninja from the Hayabusa clan, Ryohabushi, aka Carl Charles.
Alright, and thanks for taking a trip around the multiverse with us.
And see you on the beach for volleyball.
Yes, beach, volleyball, and babes, right?
Yep.
And bikinis. But not us in bikinis.
No. Unless you pay me. Bye.